Okay.
It is recording.
Okay. For the record, this is Paul Farnsworth. I've been asked to convene this meeting of the Elevator Installation, Repair, and Maintenance Work Examining Board. I was asked to convene the meeting by Acting Chairman John DeRosa. I've served in this capacity on several occasions, and the first order of business that I'd like to do is ask for a vote of confidence for my temporary chairmanship. So I'll entertain a motion from a board member to appoint me as temporary chairman for the purpose of this meeting only.
This is Todd Johnston. I'd like to appoint Paul Farnsworth, the chairman for this meeting.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to hear a second on that.
Thomas O'Reilly, I second that.
Okay, is there any discussion on the motion at this time? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. Vote first by stating your name and then saying yes or no on the motion.
Todd Johnston, yes.
Thomas O'Reilly, yes.
Okay, the motion is carried, and as temporary chairman for this meeting only, I'd like to move along on the agenda. I note on the agenda that we have one vacancy on the board. I hope that we can fill that vacancy within the next quarter. And if any board member or any participant in this meeting knows of someone that would be qualified and interested to serve, please forward that recommendation to the governor's office for appointment. Okay, next order of business on the agenda is minutes from the previous meeting of June 18th. Until such time as board member Johnston receives his email, I think we'll, by executive action, I'll table that for the moment, and we'll return to that later in the agenda. Okay, next item is comments or concerns of any person present today. And I do see we have several participants at this meeting that are not board members, and this would be a opportunity for any participants to speak on any matters of concern. Okay, hearing none, we'll move on. DCP Investigation Division Complaint Status Report.
Good morning. This is Pamela Brown, Director of Investigations. Supervising Special Investigator Janita Hamill will be reporting out today.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman Farnsworth, for today and board members. For the 2-month period starting June 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2020, there were no files that were closed, and only one new complaint case came into the Investigations Division regarding elevators. Does anybody have any questions?
Is that through July or is it through August?
Through August.
Okay.
It's from June 1st, 2020 to August 31st, 2020. And that is in the footer. Those dates are in the footer of the report.
I thought it was July though, not August, but I could be wrong.
No, it's August.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Okay, this is temporary chairman Farnsworth. Inspector Hamill, the complaint that did come in Do you have any idea of the time frame that it would be required for this complaint to be investigated and some resolution reached on that complaint?
I'm not sure I'm following you, sir. All complaints that come in are investigated in the order in which they were received. I do not have a time frame because the department has to wait for the party complained about to respond back to the agency. And then it has to be looked at against whatever the complaint allegations are made by the party that made the complaint. And then it has to be reviewed for any violations of statute and regulation regarding occupational licensed trades and tradespeople.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. I guess what I'm asking is based on the incremental timeframes for each of those functions to take place, does a complaint typically take 6 months to resolve or 3 months, or is there generally a minimum or a maximum amount of time, or is that on a case-by-case basis?
It's on a case-by-case basis, sir. And again, if the party complained against the respondent ends up hiring an attorney, then the department can only deal with that file through that attorney, and we cannot contact that respondent directly. There is no time frame. It's on a case-by-case situation. And the other thing to remember is that we don't just deal with elevators. It's the electricians, the plumbers, the sheet metal people, well drillers, conveyors, electricians, heating and cooling, home inspectors, and I'm sure I'm forgetting quite a few others.
Right, so Pamela Brown, Director of Investigations, as Janita stated, it is a case-by-case policy, case-by-case investigation as we receive it. However, if there's something that's under exigent circumstances, we move that ahead as a priority. Yes, if there's additional information that we need time to seek that from the complainant and the respondent, or the respondent's attorney, or the complainant's attorney. We have to weigh out what we've received for allegations against any violations to determine whether it's actionable on the behalf of the agency. Because once we do find allegations, or we find that there are found issues, it becomes the state versus the respondent, and is then either set forth for administrative action by hearing or some kind of fine in an agreement with the agency.
Okay, thank you, Inspector Brown. That's very informative on the process. I guess as a board member, speaking for myself, my main concern is that if a complaint is such that the resolution of that complaint would either enhance or detriment the public safety, I'd be interested in a swift process for resolving that to protect the public safety. And I would offer that some of the expert opinions on the elevator board might be useful in determining if there was either a life safety issue involved, or whether it's just a routine matter that is not involving directly day-to-day life safety. So I'm not suggesting that we interfere in the process. All I'm saying is that we're available for consultation if you needed some type of a idea of the severity of the situation. And of course, I understand that you would need to not mention the names of the parties or anything like that.
Yes, and it's Director Brown. We do not as you stated just now, discuss open complaints in a public forum. But we do weigh out any matters of public safety when we are handling and reviewing cases.
Okay, thank you, Director. Okay, any more comments regarding this matter as far as complaint status?
No, not.
Okay. Hearing no other thoughts on that, we can move on to old business. And in the category of old business, there is a residential stairlift technician licensing subcommittee. Acting Chairman DeRosa is not here to provide a report on that, so I'll ask that the agenda from our December meeting include a report from that subcommittee. That will be at our meeting of December 10th. Okay, under old business, I also see that the board has an interest in responding to a letter from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. And again, I'd like to have Acting Chairman DeRosa speak to that matter at our December 10th meeting. Are there any comments from board members regarding those two issues and matters of old business? Okay, hearing none. I see also under old business, the board has an interest in raised bill number 269, an act concerning certification of independent inspectors and inspection firms to perform elevator, escalator, and state building code inspections. Acting Chairman DeRosa is also very much involved with that matter, and he did mention to me on the phone this morning that because of the COVID-19 matter and the fact that legislation has been interrupted as a result of that, any raised bills regarding elevator matters such as raised bill 269 are being returned back to subcommittee to start at square one for consideration. So I would like him to speak to that also on the December 10th meeting. So that would be another item of old business to review on December 10th. Okay, item number 4 under old business is application review working group. And we do have correspondence regarding that. And in the agenda packet, we did receive an email. It was addressed to Karen and Commissioner Siegel from Leslie O'Brien of the agency. And basically, she outlines the fact that there was a memorandum of understanding, or a MOU, that 5 of the licensing boards signed in 2016. The elevator board did not sign the memorandum of understanding and is therefore not a part of this working group. So that is a historical statement of fact, and Acting Chairman DeRosa spoke to me this morning on that matter and indicated that he was as initiating an effort to become part of that working group, to have the elevator board be a group member, and that is in process as we speak. Okay, under the agenda heading of new business, application report. The board will review the application report, including applicants approved from June 6, 2020 to the present. And Karen, I believe you can confirm that that was distributed not with the agenda and,
Right.
And proposed minutes, but in a separate email from you to the board members.
Yeah, it was separate, and they all had the Connecticut DOL letters, all four of the people that were approved. One's taken the test, the others haven't yet.
Okay. Okay, if there's any discussion on that application report, please speak to that now. Okay, moving on to agenda item correspondence. And I will ask Karen, Board Secretary, is there any further correspondence that we have not mentioned at this meeting that you're aware of?
No, it was just the two emails that were pertaining to old business for 3 and 4 that I put in that section.
Okay. Okay, I'll open the meeting to any additional items of new business that a board member would care to raise at this time.
Did we review the or minutes from last meeting, or vote to approve them?
Not as of yet. I was going to make that the last agenda item, Board Member O'Reilly, because we were hoping that Board Member Johnston would have an email of those minutes by that time.
Yes, Chairperson Farnsworth, I just want to let you know that I did read the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll call again for any additional items of new business that a board member would care to raise at this time.
No.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to a heading entitled Correspondence. We've covered correspondence already throughout the meeting. Last call on correspondence. Any correspondence that was received perhaps by a board member that we're unaware of? Okay, seeing none or hearing none. Comments or concerns of any person present today? I see that the number of participants has lessened. However, we do have a couple of participants. Anyone care to speak to the question of comments or concerns? Okay, hearing none, I'd like to move to agenda item number 1, which would be minutes of the last meeting of June 18th, 2020. The draft minutes of that meeting are in possession of all board members at this time, and I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes as reported.
Chairman Farnsworth, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Do I hear a second on that motion from Board Member O'Reilly?
Yes, I second that.
Okay. Prior to voting, I'd like to see if there's any discussion by board members on those draft minutes.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, we'll go to a vote then. All those in favor, please state your name and then whether you're yes or no on the approval of the draft minutes of the June 18th, 2020 board meeting.
This is Todd Johnston. I say yes to approve the board meeting minutes.
Thomas O'Reilly, vote to approve.
Okay, the motion carries. And the minutes of June 18th, 2020, the draft minutes are now the minutes of the board meeting of June 18th. Okay, once again, I'd like to thank everyone in attendance today and reiterate the fact that the next meeting will be December 10th of 2020. Is there any indication from the Department of Consumer Protection whether that will be a live meeting or a remote meeting such as this? Do we have any understanding of that at this time? Is there any plans for regular meetings in the future?
I don't know of any plans for regular meetings in the future. So my guess would be it's still going to be virtual, but I don't know.
Okay. All right, at this point, I think we'll assume that it will be a virtual meeting. And I think that it's going to be a while before we have a live meeting again, but I do look forward to that. Okay, unless anyone would like to speak, I'll give one final opportunity to raise any question or concern in front of the elevator board before we seek a motion for adjournment. Okay, well, thank you all for attending. I'll entertain that motion for adjournment at this time.
This is Todd Johnston. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Board Member Johnston. I'll look for a second from Board Member O'Reilly, please.
Yeah, I second that motion.
Okay, and for the record, let's identify ourselves and place a vote.
This is Todd Johnston. I say yes to adjourn the meeting.
Thomas O'Reilly, yes to adjourn.
Okay, thank you for the affirmation of that motion. And I'd like to thank staff, Karen Lehman and Richard Harbut, for working so well under very difficult circumstances. And I think that we should acknowledge to them our appreciation of just what a good job they're doing under what is certainly an unprecedented type of situation. So thank you both in particular, and also the support people that work with you.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, I hereby adjourn the meeting of the elevator board. And we'll see you on December 10th. Thank you.
Sounds great. Bye-bye.